Well, now, little ones, this is your Uncle Jazzbo with Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time in the land of Futurakisaki, on the shores of seafood, lived a mama and her son Jack. This Jack was so square he was octagonal. He could hardly tell the time without a downbeat. One bright, while he was reading his latest issue of Goldilocks for Short Hairs, his mama said, "Jack, I don't want to be a drag, but Peril is at the door." "Nutty," said Jack, "let her in. I'll show her my stamp collection." "No, you fool," Mama said. "Our Geets is gone. We're low on bread." When I say bread and Geets, I mean loot, cabbage, moolah, money. Well, since Jack and Mama were feeling the lowest, something had to go. It was the cow, old Spigots. On his way to the market with the cow, Jack met a man with some pretty colored beans. Jack the cat said, "Give me some of that cow skin, and these wild vitamins are yours." Well, Jack was left holding the beans, and of course the cow was holding the bag all the time. When Jack made the home scene, his mama flipped. "Son, you are uncool. The deal you made was the lowest." Whereupon she flung the seeds out of the window like. Very early next, Jack saw this wild vegetating scene out the window. "Man," said Jack, "what crazy asparagus. I got eyes to see it to the tip, and I got the feet to make it." He laced up his tap boots and climbed the highest. Up there before him he saw a castle that looked the most. And in the doorway, selling sheet music, was this huge, monstrous, tremendous, gargantuan... "Man," said Jack, "you are the biggest." And the giant sang out, "Fi, fo, fum, fee. I sell the music of Dizzy Gillespie. Be you round, be you square, it's guaranteed to curl your hair." "Crazy," said Jack. "Fall on in," said the giant. "No cover, no minimum. Show is just about to begin." And it did, opening with Castle Rock from the band, and then the giant gave the intro for the feature act, his magic harp, and it was solid gold, and it could swing by itself and be in E-flat at the same time. "What a gasser," said Jack. "The music's the most. I'm getting a hip education." When the show ended, Jack got his tab. "Wow, what skullduggery. This can't be the bill. It's got to be the phone number." And with that, he grabs the harp and heads for the Beanstalk and you-know-who in hot pursuit. "Stop, thief!" cried the giant. "You're not a member of the local. Besides, you didn't pay your check." "I'm wise," cried Jack, "but your harp belongs to Daddy, and I'm taking it to him." Well, he makes it to the stalk and clambers on down, with the monster getting cozier all the time. "Fetch the axe, Mother," yelled Jack. With the giant coming down the stalk in basso profundo, Jack came on with the axe like celery stalks at midnight, and the harp cut in on its own, but not on the stalk. Down came the Beanstalk with a crash, and for the giant it was the end. "Now that's one way of bringing down the high nightclub prices," said Jack. "Ain't it though?" said Mama. "Yeah," cut in the harp, "and no strings attached."
Lesson 1. Basic Hip. Basic to hip is the concept of digging, to dig. Mr. Geets Romo, how would you define dig?
Well, man, like when you dig something.
Well, yes, but...
dig, baby. It's like, when you dig some chick or some cat. Or when you pick up on something, you dig it, you dig?
To dig, then, would mean to like, to understand, or to appreciate.
Dig, it's like... No, it's more like in music, you dig? You know what is a quarter tone? Like you get a note in there between C and C sharp, and that's its own sound, I mean, you can't call it C because it isn't. That's like dig. Dig means dig. Like if you don't dig and you say dig, I dig where you're at. Like on the wrong cat, it's the wrong word. Dig?
Ladies and gentlemen, now you begin to see one of our problems with the hip language. Each hip word or phrase carries with it an implication of the speaker's background and his involvement in hip society. In other words, the phrase "I dig" not only means I understand, but I am a special sort of person who understands in a very special way.
Yeah, that is exactly what I said.
In other words, I'm saying I am hip.
Dig yourself, baby. You got a way to go.